Hi, it's Jordan
And Sebastian.
from the local lowdown, and we are at the Rec Room talking to Ben Quad on their tour.
If you guys just want to introduce yourselves and the role you play in the band.
Awesome. Hi, I'm Sam. I'm the singer, and I play rhythm guitar in Ben Quad.
Hey, I'm Henry. I play bass and I do backup vocals.
My name's Edgar, and I play lead guitar.
My name's Isaac, and I play drums.
Awesome. Nice to meet you guys.
Very
so
good
I
meeting
wanted
you.
to ask, when you guys were first forming the band, were there any particular influences or bands that you guys looked up to all collectively that you kind of took from a little bit?
So the fun part is I don't know about collectively if there might have been one or two bands that I think we all collectively agreed on, just kind of in like the Midwest emo scene. I mean, we're all fans of bands like, Charmer was really blowing up when we were starting to form. Bands like Dikembe. I know Edgar is super influenced by bands like Algernon Caldwalder and
Got the shirt on right now.
And I mean, I know Henry and I are pop punk boys at heart. So I think that was kind of, to answer your question, is that like, I think we all kind of come from different backgrounds, and that helps with everything. So other than just your classic Midwest emo, I don't know, is there anything else? Can you think of any other bands that we all...
Any unique ones?
I think Sam pretty much nailed it. Like, we're all into Midwest emo, so we all like, that general like scope of stuff. And I think Henry and Sam are like, pop punk kids. And me and Isaac, I think, are more on the metal side.
Gotcha.
I really like post-hardcore. That's kind of where I grew up listening to music, is that kind of stuff. And I don't know. I think all of us really like Under Oath.
Yeah, we do.
But yeah, besides that, we just like the classics. Like, we all like Free Throw, Charmer. And we're so happy that we're friends with those bands now. So it's sick.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Exciting.
Yeah, I think I'm, difference between me and probably I don't know. Like me and Henry, I think are a little more also on the pop side of things.
Ooh.
Like we love Jimmy Eat World, Charlie XCX, stuff like that.
Oh,
yeah.
Charlie, yeah.
Really good playlist for driving is what we're trying to say. We have some fun playlists.
Yeah. It's good that you guys have like uniform bands like you said, like Free Throw. And I forgot the name of the one that you mentioned already, but
Under Oath.
Under Oath,
yeah,
yeah.
absolutely. Just some OG emo.
I'll be looking that up. From one of your first releases, Fighting the Umpire at a charity softball game, to your most recent releases, how do you think your process of songwriting has grown and changed, as well as recording?
Recording, we can just go ahead and immediately say we've just stepped up and, been able to afford better recording. Not so DIY. We used to record all of our, like Fighting the Umpire was recorded just in Edgar's house, in his living room. And now, of course, now we're able to go to studios, and I think that's helped. We write in the studio a lot more than we thought we would, which has been very fun to kind of be able to focus on the music. It's sometimes you find it's hard to write when you're at home, when there's a lot of stuff going on, and it's easier, to like get to the studio and then you can kind of think about everything from an outside perspective because you're not in that environment anymore. So that's been awesome. And I think the other thing is now straight up, I'll say it. We definitely rely on Edgar's shreds a lot more now. Like we found our strengths after those early releases, and it's definitely Edgar's insane guitar skills. So now it's definitely a lot more of, oh, what kind of sweet riffs does Edgar
Gotta
have?
give the fans what they love.
Exactly. And then we build off of that a lot more now than it used to be, a little more of kind of like a, lyric structure and all that stuff. Now it's riffage. And then we'll come up with the other stuff,
Do you ever think about going back to that DIY? We were talking to Carly and they said that the cover of your song, Joan of Hill, they did themselves, actually. And that was the first time in a while that they ended up recording themselves.
Yeah, I love that cover. We can all attest to that being probably like our favorite mix of Carly Cosgrove's, even more than their stuff that they have, their LP and everything.
They said it was great. They were
Lucas did such an incredible job with that song. I don't know. Maybe because I know Lucas records other bands as well. I believe bands like Elephant Jake is that one that he records. Yeah, no. So Lucas records a bunch of bands, and so I think maybe if we had more practice, we would feel more comfortable. But I think for now we'll leave it up to the professionals.
Sounds good.
Well, I wanted to ask you guys about your album. I'm Scared, That's All There Is. The title comes from the last song, the one we were just talking about, Joan of Hill. A lot of the album talks about themes of navigating early 20s. At what point did you guys realize that that was going to be the title for the album, and how soon was that in the process of making it?
How do you remember? I think later.
So the album title, I think, if I remember correctly, we came up with it while we were still like in the early stages, like because Joan of Hill was written really early, like I think like either right before COVID or right after COVID when we all started writing together again. But I do remember it's like we were sitting and that was like the hook. Like we were like, all right, I'm scared. That's all there is. I'm scared. That's all there is. Like we immediately like landed on that. And then I think we were like, all right, this sounds really cool. Let's put it just as the record title. So I think it came together pretty well and quick. And so we based the whole record around that almost.
Yeah, I think that's exactly right. We did. Yeah, I remember now. It was beginning, and then that is how we kind of came up with the themes for the rest of the record.
Cool. Well, talking about your LP again, you know, it's resulted in some major popularity, putting you guys at 70,000 listeners. Just want to run some numbers right here.
Oh, no, we appreciate that. Not that the numbers mean, everything, but yeah, thank you.
But not forgetting you're a part of it,
Yeah.
being, over 1 million now.
Right.
I was just curious as to what you feel allowed you to make it this far in music.
I do. So I like.
This is just for me. Like, I'm just curious.
It's a good question. I think, from my perspective, as a biased member, I think definitely our drums and our lead guitar have a lot to do with it. Very, attention getting, which is awesome. And then I'm gonna say, the other half is probably luck. Because there are a million bands that could be in our place right now. It could have just been like if we had missed an email, you know what I mean? Like it could have been any other band in our position. Because there are so many talented bands in this genre, in this scene growing up right now. So I really do think I'm glad that we have some super talented people in this band and we can get attention, but I'm also glad that the right ears heard us at the right time, and I attribute it to bands like Hot Mulligan and Free Throw being so ready to welcome in new faces too, because I know that they've worked for years to get where they're at, and it's really cool that they're so ready to look for the newer bands that are trying to do the same grind.
Yeah.
And we're super thankful for bands like them, taking all of our kind of bands out.
It's cool. The father bands.
Exactly.
Well, you guys just toured with Hot Mulligan, Heart Attack Man, and Spanish Love Songs in November and December of last year. What was that like?
Silly. It was silly. It was nuts. I'll keep my answer short and then I'll pass it. It was definitely one of those like once in a lifetime feeling things. I hope we get there again in a couple years, but those venues were incredible. The crowds were incredible, and I can't imagine like the touring package, all chillers, nuts. It was so fun. What do you think, Henry?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that tour, like each band, like had an album like during like my 20s that had like really a big impact on me for sure. So like being able to tour with all those bands meant a lot for sure.
Yeah, I mean, basically everything else these guys said. It's like these bands we look up to a lot, asked us out to play with them. And so it's just really surreal playing to humongous crowds. And I mean, I think we really found out how to be a band after that tour, like just like learning to be road dogs and learning to like load in and be professional. I think that's just like valuable experience you don't get until you become a part of that. So that was a huge learning experience.
Yeah, that was really important. Like learning how to interact with different venues, learning how to figure out where things are quickly without being rude or having other people be rude to you. Sometimes that's unavoidable, but sometimes that's unavoidable in some of those venues. But mostly like everything was professional, super chill, wonderful, and all the bands were lovely. No, there's just no ego being put upon us
Sweet.
anywhere.
Yeah. Well, it's great to hear you guys got that experience and also got to play with some of your favorite bands ever.
Well, in last October, you released a single 2-pack, if you will. Single 2-pack EP
Oh, yeah.
titled Hand Signals. What was the idea behind releasing those two songs together instead of maybe saving one of them or saving them for another single release later down the line?
Yeah, I think there's two answers to that. There's the artistic answer, and then there's the business answer. The business answer, to get that one out of the way, is it was just a part of a contract, just to get 2 more songs out with Wax Bodega. And then the artistic answer is that, like, I kind of miss A-B releases, just 2 singles. I feel like I don't see a lot of bands do that anymore. I don't think we were ever planning on releasing it on vinyl, but that was the idea of, like, it'd be cool to have like a 7-inch, just an A-B side, was kind of our thought process. And we also kind of used those 2 songs to wrap up the album. The themes that we used, and I can get into that more later. But I think it was almost like
They
It was almost like
needed
the end
They needed
of
to
it.
be there. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it was kind of sealing that, those windows and doors, and getting ready to move on to the next one. Did anyone else have anything to add to that? I mean,
If you want it on vinyl, it's on the Wax Bodega tour exclusive split
Ooh, promo.
as bonus tracks. We haven't promoted that much, but it's a little special surprise.
I did see. I was
Yeah.
looking at the LP in there. I haven't.
I
gotten a
forgot
chance.
about that. They are on the B side of the split. So yeah, definitely. I don't know what we're gonna do with that. Maybe by the time this comes out, we'll have said something. But there might be copies after this tour.
Cool.
But this might be the only tour that you can get it on. So we'll just keep that in mind.
Grab your time machines.
Well, just to wrap it up here, is there anything you guys want to plug? Any upcoming releases? You're on the tour right now.
I mean,
News in
literally,
general?
yeah. This tour right now, just plug it because it is insane. This is only day 3,
Great
but
lineup.
all the shows have been crazy so far already. Yeah, the lineup is to die for. Otherwise, just kind of keep an eye out. We're keeping it a little secret right now, but we'll be the classic big things coming, from a band.
Love that.
Anyone else have anything they want to plug? Oh, local bands like Red Sun from Oklahoma. Oklahoma's on the come up right now, and definitely pay attention to the bands coming from there.
Check 'em
King
out.
Pink, Sunfoe, and Red Sun, some of my favorites. And yeah, Oklahoma's on the come up, so keep an eye out.
Yeah, I don't know what else to plug, but I think, Oklahoma's music scene is in a good place. Keep an eye on that. Keep an eye on us. I think we probably have like some of the biggest announcements we've ever made as a band coming up pretty soon. I'd say in the next couple months. Like, yeah, big things. Beyond that, I think that's it.
Awesome. Yeah. Well, thank you so much for talking to us, Ben Quad. It's
Yeah.
been Sebastian,
And Jordan.
and we'll see you in the next field interview.
I hope it leads to every threat.